Hi Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. This reading is for the week of March 4th to March 10th. All right, so let's jump in. Wow, interesting story, Leo, that I'm seeing here. So obviously this isn't going to resonate for all of you. So if this doesn't resonate for you, please don't just press unlike button, okay? It means this isn't for you. All right, that being said, if this is for you, your specific set of Leos, here's the story. I feel, Leo, I'm not sure who you were in this connection, either the person who left or the person who was left. But in this story, it really feels like you were the one who left, okay? So I'm going to say you to refer to the person who left, but of course, the way the energy works, you use your intuition as to who you are in the story. All right, so what I'm seeing is that at one point there was a connection, there was a karmic contract together where there was balance. This relationship was going well, things were good, but one person decided to head out. They decided to leave the connection, and I think the idea was they were leaving to sow their oats, so to speak. Is what just came to mind. So it looks like they wanted to explore the world, they wanted to experience different people. I'm seeing nightclubs, I'm seeing moving far away, I'm just seeing going out of town a lot, or either moving out of town or going out of town. I'm just seeing this person really just going out, partying, doing this and that, okay? Leo, I feel that that's you. Now, again, if it's not you, it's the other person in the connection. If it's neither of you, this isn't for you. God bless, right? So let's move on. I see that the things that you, Leo, were doing were like things that you wouldn't feel necessarily good about writing home about. I feel also that for some of you, you may have been stepping out on this relation and doing those things and hiding it from your home, where this other person was. So basically, I just feel like the way it was done, whether it was done within the relationship or once you've left a relationship, is that you made an attempt to hide it from the eyes of this other person, okay, that you're in a relationship with. So anyway, I see again leaving a solid foundation where there was balance between the two, leaving in order to sow your wild oats. Here's the leaving. And I think you left behind a pretty great relationship, if I'm being honest. I really do see that it was great. Whether or not you were able to identify it as being great, it was a good one. I think, though, that while you were gone, I don't think you ever stopped thinking about this person that you left, to be honest. That's what it looks like. And I feel that now you've grown a little older, you've grown a little wiser. For some of you, it may be many years later. Whoops. It might be many years later. But either way, you're coming back into town. You're coming back into their life now. Much more healed, more mature, and with love on your mind. You have the desire to rekindle with this person, and it's almost like you are literally coming back in to their existence for the sake of rekindling. But I think that you're actually being met with the cold shoulder, okay? So that's what I'm seeing you're being met with. And maybe you're surprised about it, maybe you're not. Maybe some of you haven't even met up with this person again yet. You just heard from friends, maybe on Facebook, whatever, that you probably shouldn't come back because you're not going to get an answer. I'm also seeing that some of you have reached out to this person either on Facebook or through voicemail or just whatever, through some kind of messaging, and they didn't even read it. I'm just being honest. If that was your case, I'm picking up that some of you, they didn't even read it, they didn't even listen to the voice message, they saw you call, they let it go, and that's what I'm picking up. Now here is the other person. I'm going to show you these cards because why not, right? You can use your intuition too. Now this is the other person. While you went out to sow your wild oats and blah, 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 this person, they were happy in the connection, whatever. And then once you left, it put them into a more independent-minded state of mind. They started to, even this person's dressed differently. This one's wearing a dress. She's dreamy. She's thinking about the love connection. Now here she's wearing pants. She's got a little tunic on, and she's got pathways that she can explore. She's thinking about her future. She's much more independent. So because you left her, it kind of forced her to pick up the pieces and go out and explore and find out about herself. Now, what I feel, though, is that you, again, are coming back into town and you bringing with you gifts. Gifts in terms of spiritual gifts, things that you've learned, things you want to share, stories, all sorts of stuff. And I think in your mind, you're coming back in with the intention of being that King of Cups, like straight up, like, I want to marry you, take me back, I'm ready for you now, I know I left you high and dry, I know things didn't work well, but I'm ready for you now and I want you back. And I think that you, in your mind, literally have this idea of providing for this person, being everything for this person, making this home for this person. But as you've come here, I think you realize that you're here, but nobody else is. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're like, I'm here, and it's almost like you kind of expected at least a little warmer of a reception from this person, but this person is not, it didn't even show up to this party. She didn't show up, or he didn't show up. They brought nothing. I think that there's definitely animosity between the two of you. Definitely on her part, I feel that, or this other person, the person that you left, right? There's definitely some animosity on their part. Again, if you're not the one with the animosity, it's the other person in this connection. But someone in this connection is definitely feeling animosity towards you. And it's gotten to the point now where you're aware of that. And now it's like you brought all these gifts, you brought all this, you're like, it's like, I'm home, and no one's there. And now you don't know what to do with yourself. It's like, what do I do now? What do I do with all this knowledge that I left and I learned, and I've learned that I thought this person would be here. Now, what I'm seeing here is that in the week of March 4th to March 10th, there you may run into this person. You may run into this person, or something will happen. They may ring you. Something will happen that may bring them into your sphere, may bring you into their sphere. But maybe, just maybe for some of you, you guys might make the decision to reconnect a little bit, or at least acknowledge each other in the same city. But I feel like this is going to be a slow process to rebuild, if it even gets off the ground. I feel like right now it's more on surface level, like, oh, you're back in town. Okay, yeah, well, how was that? Good? Oh, you got your degree? Well, congratulations. Yeah, that's so good. That's great for you. All right, well, yeah, that's great. Thanks for looking me up. Well, I guess I'll see you around. All right, bye. Yeah, it's kind of like that, where they're just like, okay, well, what do you want from me? That's the kind of feeling, even though it was couched in the, yeah, well, you should look me up if you have questions about where to get your papers or just whatever, I'm here. But really, underneath, it's kind of like, okay, well, I have nothing for you, and all right, well, bye, I might never see you again, and I'm fine with that. That's the energy that I'm picking up from this other person. Whereas I feel like you're still, like, it's almost like, well, I don't know if I'll ever get this person back, but I'm just going to go ahead and start building the house. I'm just going to go ahead and start building the house, just, and then I'll work on trying to get them back. At least it'll give me something to do. And you're keeping yourself busy. For some of you, I see that you may be drinking at this time. Not heavily, but I'm seeing drinking wine and such. I see you mulling over some paperwork, but I do feel a general listlessness, because I guess things didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. I guess in some part of your mind, you thought you'd come back in, you'd rekindle. It might be a little rough at first, but that you'd come back together and that you build this home together and this house together. But I'm just not seeing that being the reality at this time. Now, let's take a look at the gold cards. Aren't they lovely? They're gorgeous. What I'm picking up is that at one point, it's almost like at one point you had everything. You had everything. They were giving... I'll show you the cards right here. At one point, you had everything here. Everything was given to you. You had the two, you're showing the love there. You're receiving. I'm seeing money and finances being together. I'm seeing sex here. Don't ask how. That's all I'm saying. But I think that at that time, you were incapable of receiving the love that was given to you. I think that you were emotionally unavailable. I think you were asleep. I think that you were just not at your best self. I think you were going through a time of self-destruction. And I for some of you, self-destruction, I just feel that you were not in a position to receive that. So I think what happened is that on the spiritual level, you elected to head out and leave this relationship so that you can have eye-opening experiences, so that you can build yourself. And I think that on some level, you thought that when you got back, you would be able to just pick back up. Um, I think though that when you left, on the spiritual level, is because you wanted to bring more balance to your life. You wanted to learn. You wanted to just become a better person. But on the conscious level, what it was is that you may have said, you know, and this I'm seeing is some of you, for those of you going out of town and not necessarily breaking up, that may have been an excuse to cheat, because I'm definitely seeing cheating here. Okay, so some of you are going out of town while you were in this relationship, cheating, blah 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 blah. But for others of you, when you left a relationship and you broke up or whatever, I definitely see you sowing your wild oats, so to speak. I see feathers in your cap. You're probably making money doing odd jobs or making money doing something somewhere. But definitely I do see other people, like other women, other men, and you were living it up and partying and whatnot. Some of you were living it up. You're getting money and then using the same money to party. Maybe for some of you drugs were involved. I may be seeing some construction jobs for some of you, just whatever. And I think that for a while you were happy living this life, this nomad life, where you're out, you had a new beginning and you're juggling all these people, having these experiences. But eventually Spirit came back in and said, you know, this enough is enough. It's time to raise your vibration. You know, I have to be honest, a lot of people are being asked to raise their vibration these days. Oops, let's move the camera just a little bit. There you go. So you can see all my cords in the background, but also so you can see these cards here. Yeah, so what's happened now is that, let's see, I want to make sure. What happened now is that at one point you had balance, whether or not whether or not you believe it. I think you had balance. think you had everything in this relationship, but you were incapable of receiving that. Okay, the angels are saying, oh, I'm feeling yes. I'm feeling this is right, and I see here that justice is coming back around. Okay, so this is a not karmic thing, but it's the scales are now balancing. You left this person high and dry is what I'm seeing, and to be honest, you left because you wanted to party and you didn't want to be in this connection with somebody who was honoring you and who was probably very, very much complimenting the relationship that you had. But I see now as you're coming back, the justice is being served, because here you're trying to get back to this person, but look at that. All right, here's justice. You're trying to get back into this person, but it's almost like you can't reach them. They're not allowing you in. And the reason why is because you caused a lot of heartbreak for this person. And I'm really picking that up. And I think part of justice means accepting the reality of what you have put in motion through the actions that you've done in the past. And no one likes to hear that. That sucks, because if, you know, we all do things and we all don't want it to come back to haunt us and whatnot. But I do have to say that Cancer right now, if this reading is resonating with you and you're the one trying to get back into someone's life and they're shutting you out, it's because you caused a lot of pain when you left. Okay, I feel that you really cut this person off, like from themselves, because they not that anyone can cut someone else off from themselves, but just the way that you dealt with it really caused a lot of pain for them, and they grew and they're stronger now. And now I see that on the other hand, you're the one going through the heartbreak now, and I feel that, right, see, here's the heartbreak. You're the one going through the heartbreak now, and I feel that here you are trying to receive and nothing is being given to you, whereas before you were given everything. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you right now, and that's the way justice is working. And the reason why these things happen, these quote-unquote justice situations, is so that you can truly feel what it feels like. And I'm seeing here that the reason why you went out of town, I keep hearing went out of town and did whatever you did, or skipped out on this relationship, is the Devil card. Temptation was too much for you. This anytime you see the Devil card and you see temptation, it's two things. Number one, unhealed wounds, and number two, unhealed wounds. Okay, you need to heal whatever the wounds are that are leading, the unresolved wounds that are leading to these temptations and addictions and causing you to do things that hurt people and hurt yourself. Now, because of that, I see that this person because of, you know, the way that you stepped out on them, and uh, this person moved on. They honestly, I'm seeing they had no choice. It's either sink or swim with that. It was really bad. They moved on. They got strong. Now they carry a sword, because you really cut them off last time, cut them off at the knees, so to speak, and now they carry a sword with them, and they made an agreement to themselves never to ever let you in again, and that's what I'm seeing here. So now I think that, to be honest, I think maybe on some level making those decisions was really prosperous for them. They grew a lot, they got a lot from that. Now this reading is not telling us about whether or not you guys will ever be together again. I'm not seeing that. I definitely see they made a promise to themselves to never let you in again, but we don't know what's to come, right? This is a weekly reading. What I am getting, though, is perhaps this is an explanation for those of you who may be wondering, like, excuse me, who may be wondering, will this person let me back in, right? Or should I let this person back in? I don't know what the question is. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, Cancer. I hope this reading wasn't too sad and too stressful and just whatever, right? It depends on who you are as you're watching into this story. Of course, if you have a question or two, feel free to email me. But if you're going to ask me a question about your personal life, then obviously we know this has to be a personal reading. All right? So God bless you guys, and have a wonderful week, and best of luck. Just try to be cool until next week, all right? Bye.